everyone. In this video, let's discuss about clause 21 of the tax audit clauses. This is one of the most important clause which is being frequently tested in examinations. So let's pay a keen attention to it. Let's begin. Clause 21, subclause A. Please furnish the details of amounts debited to profit and loss account, being in the nature of capital, personal, advertisement, expenditure, etc. So those amounts which have been debited to profit and loss account, which are in the nature of capital, personal, advertisement, expenditure, etc., are to be shown as a detail. Loss and sale of assets. Personal could be the personal expenses of the director. Advertisement could be an advertisement expenditure in a souvenir published by a political party. Could be there. Okay. So now let's understand each of these. Capital expenditure, I have to show it separately. Personal expenditure, I have to show it separately. Advertisement expenditure in a souvenir, brochure, tract, pamphlet, or the like published by a political party. So advertisement expenditure in any of these published by a political party. So expenditure at clubs, either it can be an entrance fees or a subscription or for the cost of services. Now, then expenditure by way of penalty or fine, either for violation of law or any other penalty which is not covered above. And finally, the expenditure incurred for any purpose which is an offense or which is prohibited by law. So, for example, I'm giving some bribe. That is an example of an expenditure which is incurred for the purpose which is an offense or which is prohibited by the law. Now, this is with respect to clause 21A. Now, clause 21B deals with amounts inadmissible under section 40A. Section 40A of the Income Tax Act deals with certain things, which means it says that certain amounts shall not be deducted in computing the income chargeable under the head profits and gains of business and profession. Okay, the first one, subclause 1 deals with payment to a non-resident. For that, I have to give the details. If a tax has not been deducted, then I have to give the date of payment, amount of payment, nature of payment, and the name and address of the payee. Payee means the recipient. Okay. Details of payment on which tax has been deducted but has not been paid during the year. I have deducted the tax but has not been deposited to the government during the previous year or the subsequent year before the under section 200 subsection. I have to specify the date of payment, amount of payment, nature of payment, name and address of the okay. Now, as payment referred to in subclause 1A, this is nothing but any payment paid to a resident on which tax has not been deducted, okay, or deducted but not deposited. So I have to disclose the details, date of payment, amount of payment, nature of payment, and then name and address of the payee. And date of payment, if I have deducted but not deposited, then I have to show the date of payment, amount of payment, nature of payment, name and address of the payer, and amount of tax deducted out of 5 deposited, if any. Okay, then under subclause 1C deals with fringe benefit. If any fringe benefits have been received, for that I have not deducted or that is not deductible under the head profit and gains of business and profession. Then 2A deals with any sum paid on account of wealth tax. Okay, that should not be allowed as a deduction while computing profit and loss for the business or profession. Then any amount paid by way of royalty, license, service fee, privilege fee, service charge, or any other fee or charge by whatever name called, was levied exclusively on, appropriated directly or indirectly from the state government undertaking by the state government. So I am taking it from a state government undertaking from a state government. That is under subclause 2B. Okay. Subclause 3 deals with any payment which is chargeable under the head salaries if it is payable outside India or to a non-resident, and if the tax has not been paid or deducted, that will not be allowed as that is inadmissible expenditure. Okay, salary paid to a non-resident or paid outside India, but on which tax has not been deducted. Now, subclause 4 deals with any payment to a provident fund or other fund established for the benefit of the employees unless the SC has made effective arrangement to secure the tax should be deducted its source from any payment made from the fund which is chargeable to tax on head salaries. And subclause 5 deals with any tax actually paid by the employer, any other tax paid by the employer. Okay, these are things which are to be inadmissible while computing the income under the head profits and gain from business or profession. So now let's understand other things. This clause is substantially expanded to furnish detailed information for deduction and deposit of TDS. This clause mainly focuses, whenever you are thinking about this clause, the first thing you come to your mind is that it is with respect to TDS. Okay. Section 40 is shall not be deducted while computing the income chargeable under the head profit and gains from business or profession. In case where SSC summons that any sum debited to profit and loss account is not inadmissible, then the tax auditor may exercise his judgment in the light of the applicable laws and report accordingly about the compliance with the provision. If the SSC says that it is not an inadmissible expenditure, then the tax auditor has to apply his judgment in relation to the applicable laws and regulations. The tax auditor should SSC to ascertain as to whether he has complied with the provisions contained in this Act. Auditors should go through the profit and loss account and scrutinize each ledger one by one and ascertain whether the applied tax is deducted at the specified rate as per the Act. So, now moving on to clause 21C, amounts debited to profit and loss account being interest, salary, bonus, commission, or remuneration inadmissible under section 40B or 40BA and computation thereof. 40B, this is that in case of a firm. Okay, for that, anything beyond the prescribed limits will be considered as inadmissible. The tax auditor is required to state inadmissible amount, and such information is also required to be given in respect of the interest or remuneration paid to a member or association of person or body of individual. The term a firm includes an LLP. Okay, the word inadmissible implies the tax auditor will have to examine the fact, apply the conditions for allowance or disallowance, and accordingly determine the prima facie inability of the deduction and also to quantify the same. In order to determine inadmissible under section 40B, okay, the tax auditor should obtain the computation of the total income from the SSC. The tax auditor should maintain the information in the prescribed format as per part of his working paper and report appropriately. Since because this tax audit is also a part of audit, the tax auditor has to maintain necessary working papers. Okay, so whenever the department scrutinizes, it will also ask the working papers of the auditor. It may ask, okay, it may ask the for supportings. That's when the auditor has to submit it. Okay. The tax auditor may note the information required to be reported as the amount of inadmissible expenditure and not the total. Show only the amount of inadmissible expenditure and not the total amount debited to the profit and loss account. Say 1 lakh is the assume 2 lakhs is the amount of remuneration paid. Okay. Hmm. If the condition satisfied, 1,50,000 is the maximum amount which is allowable. Okay, then what is the amount of inadmissible expenditure here? 50,000. That 50,000 should be reported by the tax auditor and not the entire 2 lakhs. Okay. Let's move on with clause 21D. Does allowance deemed income under section 40A3 on the basis of examination of books of account and other relevant documents or evidences whether the expenditure covered in section 40A3 read with rule 6DD were made by the account pay check drawn on a bank or account pay bank draft. If not, please furnish the details. I have to check whether the expenditure have been made on account pay check or account pay bank draft or account pay something, the one of something like that. Okay, it should not be by way of barrel check or something like that. Okay, now on the basis of examination, okay, if it is not there, okay, it is by the way of barrel check, then I have to give the serial number, the date of payment, give the nature of payment, give the amount and name and PAN number of the payee. Okay, then on the basis of examination of books of accounts and other relevant documents where the payment referred to in 48.3a read with rule 6GG were made by account pay check drawn on a bank or account pay bank draft. If not, please furnish the details of amount deemed to be the profit and gains under section 43a. Same. Okay, now for the purpose of furnishing the above particulars, the tax auditor should obtain the list of all cash payments in respect of an expenditure exceeding rupees 10,000, 35,000 in case of buying, hiring, or leasing of goods. This could be a key point, right? Generally, it is 10,000, but in the case of flying, hiring, and leasing goods carriages, it is 35,000 made by SSC during the relevant year, which should include the list of payment exempted in rules 633 with reasons. This list should be verified by the tax authority with books of accounts in order to ascertain whether the conditions for specified under clause A to I are satisfied. Details of payment which do not satisfy the conditions should be stated under this clause. Okay, whichever there is an thing is there, then I have to disclose it. Tax auditor has to take into account the technological advancements in the fields of banking and information technology where payments have been taken other than the account paid check and account paid bank draft. The auditor should go through the if it is via bank transaction, is fully allowed. Okay, it's nothing an issue. Okay, I'm using internet banking. I'm not using a check, but I'm using internet banking. Then it is fine. Okay, it should not be by way of bearer check or something like that. Okay, or okay, that's what they tell you. The auditor should go through the cash book, cash vouchers, bills, etc. of the assessee so as to ascertain whether the assessee and report if any payments not complying the conditions specified in the Act. Provision for payment of gratuity not allowable under Section 40A7 is in the clause 21E. As per Section 40A7, the reduction shall be allowed in relation to any provision made by the SSC for the purpose of payment of any sum by way of contribution towards an approved gratuity fund or for the purpose of payment of gratuity become payable during the previous year. In case provision made for payment is not allowable, the same must be stated. See, if it is for a when this gratuity will be allowed on a payment basis. Okay, that's what they are telling here. If it is inadmissible, then okay, you have to mention it here. Now, clause 21F, any sum paid by the assessee as an employer not allowable under section 40A9. Under section 40A9, any payment made by an employer towards setting up or formation of any fund, trust, company, association of person, body of individual, society, registered society, or any other institution other than the other than the contribution to recognized provident fund or approved superannuation fund or notified pension scheme or approved gratuity fund is not allowable. So any other fund which I'm going to set on my own is not allowable. See, I'm paying to employees, it is allowed. Okay, I'm paying to a fund on me for later remittance to employees, that is not allowed. Okay. Now, particulars of any liability of contingent nature. The assessee is required to furnish a particulars of any liability of contingent nature debited to a profit and loss account. Tax auditor may not be immediately ascertain the details of contingent liabilities debited to profit and loss account without a detailed scrutiny of various account heads. See, if it is if there is any contingent nature, okay, item debited to profit and loss account, I have to verify and ascertain whether it is proper. Okay, if not, I have to mention as inadmissible. Clause 21H. Amount of deduction inadmissible in terms of Section 14A in respect of the income expenditure incurred in relation to an income which does not form part of total income. An assessee may claim that no expenditure has been incurred in relation to an income which does not form part of the total income under the Act. Even in such a case, Section 14A will apply. Okay. This is like expenditure incurred in relation to earning an exempt income. That is income which do not form part of total income. The provisions of Section 36 1 Clause 3 provide that amount of interest paid in respect of a capital borrowed for the purpose of business or production profession would be allowed as a deduction in computing the income referred in Section 28. The proviso thereof thereunder provides that any amount of interest paid in respect of a capital borrowed for acquisition of an asset, for extension of an existing business or profession, whether capitalized in the books of accounts or not, for any period beginning from the date of capital which is borrowed for acquisition of an asset till the date asset was put to use, shall not be allowed as a deduction. See, this is an important point here. Let's mark it. Okay. See, that's that. I have borrowed some capital. Okay, I'm going to pay interest for that. Okay, that capital is being borrowed for acquisition of an asset. Okay, or for an extension of an existing business or profession. Okay, so from the date of borrowing till the date asset is put to use, asset is put to use, asset is put to use, put to use. Such interest will not be allowed as a deduction because it will be naturally kept first. So I'm not going to provide you double deduction. That's why it is being disallowed here. So let's understand this. Okay, we have good amount of examples here. Okay, let's quickly go over it. Okay, just one two examples we will see. Okay, for example, the capital expenditure could be the capital assets written off. Okay, and Personal expenses could be, you could check payments into an employee if not, even this personal HR have to disclose it like that. Okay. So it could be like scrutinized expenses account like expenditure on presents and gifts, traveling expenditure, repairs and maintenance, bank charges, entertainment expenditure. The auditor can request admission in the following manner for the advertisement: date, voucher number, name of the political party, nature of expenditure, and amount. An expense in the club as an entrance fee, subscription, or payment for club services and facilities. So I can mention it in this manner. I can prepare my put in this manner. Penalty or a fine. I have to obtain a schedule, choose penalty or a fine for with law or any other penalty, which is an offense. Okay, I can check the following accounts and records, which is like sales tax records, EHS, PF. Then amounts inadmissible is 40A, which is nothing but for these things could be like, okay. On these we have the things I could check it. What are the things I would do whether any payment is made versus during the previous year, taxes deductible in respect of such payment, whether tax has been deducted, whether it has been debited, challan I have to check and verify the TDS return. Okay. Just nothing but the remuneration within should not exceed the prescribed limit. The rate of interest should not exceed 12%. I have to scrutinize these lectures. This was nothing but the cash payments exceeding 10,000. See, where a client is not able to obtain paid checks from a bank, which is practically not available, then auditor should obtain a certificate from the management to effect that all payments to the bank in excess of 10,000 in aggregate, apart from those mentioned in the certificate, have been made monthly by account payee, check and draft. In this case, auditor should give a note in the report that it has been not been possible for him to verify whether the payment in excess of 1,000 in aggregate have been made otherwise by an account to be checked, as the necessary evidence was not in the possession of the management. Payment for gratuity, I have to obtain these. I have to obtain the calculations, the treat, and so on. Okay. See, I have to make a provision for contribution to an approved gratuity, unapproved gratuity, accrued but not due, accrued and due. Okay. Then any sum paid by the assessee as an employer not allowable. Okay. Which are not disallowable. Okay. Like payment to recognized provident fund approved. This is not disallowable. Okay. Other than this, all are disallowable. So approval renovation fund required by any other law. Contingent liabilities, scrutinize them. Okay. Expenditure inadmissible, exempt from tax for those any expenses incurred to earn an income which is exempt from tax. So that expenses have to be scrutinized. And amount inadmissible under proviso to section 36(1). Check whether the assessee has taken any expansion. Check whether the assessee has borrowed the capital. Check whether the assessee has debited the interest. In that case, the amount so debited will be inadmissible. Okay. The rest all are illustrations that you could go through. Yeah. So let's catch up on the next video. Thank you so much. If you really find it useful, please do like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned. Bye bye.